Dear colleagues and dear friends, I'm very happy to welcome you all to this international workshop where we will explore important questions about academic career development and academic leadership especially. I hope today's discussion will inspire new ideas, strengthen our support systems and empower us on our career paths. So, now I will, maybe Katrina, you can... we will introduce this program.
Hello, everyone. So before we start our panel discussion, we will briefly walk you through today's program, which basically consists of two main parts, which will be the panel discussion, which will be where we have three great panelists here visiting us, and afterwards you will have opportunity to also ask questions, so question and answer session, after which you will have a very small coffee break with the opportunity to also networking, and afterwards the second part of today's workshop will happen with the parallel group discussions on the topics of academic career and professional development. You will have the opportunity to sign up for these topics, to choose the topic during the panel session, and afterwards we will finish today's workshop with the group presentations and summary. Okay, I think we can start, and our first panelist is Darja, Aksjonova, which is she is a senior expert in Latvian Science Council, and she will tell us more about how to navigate research career paths. Welcome, Darja.
Thank you. Oh. So this one I can use, yeah? Do not click it without... Wait a second. Yeah, everything fine. Hello, happy to be here today. Welcome to Valmiera, if I may. So came today with a part of you from Riga, and thank you once again for organizing this event. And I hope I can be useful also for you today, telling about how to navigate, because this is the trickiest thing, I guess, what we need to consider before we dive in into different opportunities and also resources and tools that is provided for us by European Commission. So I will give you an overview, and then we'll finalize, hopefully, with tangible and practical information. So I'm from Latvian Council of Science, representatives of Horizon Europe National Contact Point, and I'm responsible for second cluster, New European Bauhaus Facility, consulting our, I hope, future proposals, and also E³UDRES. E³UDRES is a project that is pan-European project focusing on researchers' careers, especially on their mobility, and not only geographical mobility, but also intersectional mobility. So this is why I will be telling you today about their careers, hopefully useful. So let's start with zooming out. I guess you all know that we are all part of European Research Area. European Research Area is not just coincidentally like play of words. This means that we have under it policy agenda, and policy agenda is specifically under the Action 4 focused on promoting of attractive research careers, talent circulation and mobility. This is a huge world under this priority that with different absolutely supporting measures from European Commission, from different funded organizations that are focusing on talent circulation and providing an information for researchers, making research careers attractive. So towards a European framework for research careers, this is where it all starts under priority 4, and we have definite objectives of strengthening scientific and technological basis by achieving a European research area in which researchers, scientific knowledge and technology circulate freely. In order to understand where we stand and how we're developing, I just decided to show you some numbers that show how we are growing actually in numbers, because we have total number of researchers in higher educational institutions in EU. Usually when we are talking about researchers' careers under E³UDRES project, European Commission takes data like naming 2 million people who are highly skilled, have PhD, and are sometimes at last. So these are different career stages. Right here, we are talking only about our 3 established researcher or our 4 leading researcher. And the numbers have grown significantly. And this is the data from the project More for EU and online indicator tool that I've used. The recent data is 2019, and I guess right now the situation is even, the number has increased. So what about R3 researcher? So to habilitate or not to habilitate, I guess it could be the question. Here we are talking about already established researchers who has a reputation based on research excellence in his field, makes a positive contribution to the development of knowledge, research and development through cooperation and collaborations, and identifies research problems and opportunities within his area of expertise, identifies appropriate research methodologies and approaches, conducts research independently, which advances a research agenda, can take the lead in executing collaborative research project in cooperation with colleagues and project partners, what we are doing here actually, publishes papers as lead author, organizes workshops or conference sessions. Why am I reading this? Because it is important to understand where we stand and how we can grow. So we have also some desirable competences that were prepared by European Commission that they want to see in our CV or on our curriculum. So we can establish collaborative relationship with relevant industry research or development groups, communicate our research effectively to the research community and wider society, science communication. Hello, welcome, my PhD topic, sorry for promoting myself. So is innovative in their approach to research and can form research consortia and secure research funding, budgets, resources from research council or industry, and is committed to professional development. So I guess this is the whole world here, what European Commission is, how European Commission is seeing our 3 researchers. Let's take a look on what is the next level. So R4 researcher has an international reputation already based on research excellence in their field, demonstrates crucial judgment in the identification and execution of research activities, makes a substantial contribution to their research field or spanning multiple areas, develops a strategic vision on the future of the research field, recognizes the broader implications and applications of their research, valorization of science and commercialization, of course, publishes and presents influential papers and books, serves on workshop and conference organizing committees, and delivers invited talks. Here is the scope. Here are also some desirable competences, a little bit more than I've talked previously. You're an expert at managing and leading research projects, skilled at managing and developing others, has a proven record in securing significant funding, beyond team building and collaboration, focusing on long-term team planning, career paths for the researchers, and securing funding for the team positions, is an excellent communicator and networker. within and outside the research community. So, like creating and organizing the networks, another level. And is able to create an innovative and creative environment for research and acts as a professional development role model for others. What do you think? Yeah, exactly, how good it sounds, yeah? This like a Superman in research. Why even do you need any organization if you are capable of such things? So how your access, for example, can help? I will slightly guide you through all the tools, resources that I know, at least right now, because I'm constantly participating in different research conferences that are focusing specifically on researchers' careers. But I want to tell you that there is more, a lot, and the key phrase here is how to navigate. I will take a look at it in the end of my presentation. Yeah, I hope I have some time. So let's start with your access. Your access focuses on different locations. Right now, this tool you can use not only if you are thinking or considering mobility, but like moving to another country or another research organization, but also intersectoral mobility in case you would like to be more entrepreneur than a scientist, or something in between, then you definitely can access the tool, but this is only for registered users. Yes, please take a note, and this not everyone can enter. And you can take a look at career handbook for also for researchers, for young researchers, maybe it will be valuable. You can see webinars and trainings. And one more thing is we have a podcast, not something super specific, but we have different focuses. I will tell you about a little bit later. So how we are assessing someone who is in charge, who is researcher. And recently, Commission has published a COARA evaluation on researchers' careers, and you can see here the light blue line is what we currently have. So research publications, Hirsch number still matters, and what it will be after reform. It's blue line, darker at least. But we have substantial differences in publications, in science communication, in intersectoral mobility, in open education materials. That's it. Something like open science, open access practices. On this, we have also indicators measuring the open accessibility of research outcomes and data. And you will, by the way, have this presentation. So, what about this Hirsch index? Publish or perish. So in Weber in 1917, in a lecture on science as a career and a profession, said that a successful career requires not only being a good researcher, but being also a good teacher. In survey of 1990, only 10% of professors mentioned this. And 95% mentioned that still articles matter more than students. What can you do? What are the options that you can use already right now or focus on them? So one is funding opportunity. I guess this is the most common thing that someone is considering, is Marie Curie Alumni Association that have a huge network of different professionals from different fields that you can contact in case you would like to have co-publications or co-projects, or you would like to start Horizon Europe project, or whenever you need some kind of professional assistance, they can help with that. ERC, of course, who doesn't know, European Research Council. So it could be also consolidator grant and advanced grant, national regional funding opportunities, and you can also become an expert. This is an opportunity to see the latest trends, to evaluate latest projects in absolutely different pillars of Horizon Europe, and not only Digital Europe, and all the other funding opportunities are there. You just tick what you are interested in, or what field of science is yours, so you are an expert in that. Highly welcoming new experts, actually. One more project recently, I've heard about recently, is Secure, but it also goes to an end. I guess soon will be over. They have a summit soon, and I will also give you the links to their workshops. They are also focusing on researchers' careers framework, and they have also published different documents like state-of-the-art on research career framework and tenure track-like models, their evaluation together with the experts from the fields and policymakers. Highly advise you to take a look at this project. And the dates for coming soon webinars won't take you long. I know how tight it is with the schedule, but it was 1 hour webinar that you can just jump in, listen, and understand what is the current state of art on research career framework, tenure track-like models, good practices, and of course Q&A as usual. One more initiative, huge initiative, ERA Talent Platform, that was introduced previous year in June by European Commission, which combines all the different resources that could be of use or helpful for you. So one is your access, another is HR Excellence in Research, more focused on organizations. And Resaver for someone who is considering to get a pension. But we are now talking more about those who are right now performing still. You can see the your access portal on jobs, and there are a lot of different opportunities for you all around the world. We have also approximately 11 hubs based in Brazil, Latin America, North America, etc., etc. So this is really, there are almost no borders. Also, ERA Talent project, which is not platform, is project. We have a lot of talents, you know. And we have, under this project, 5 thematic cross-border hubs that can help you if you are thinking about startups, if you are thinking about career beyond academia. It could be also policy, switching to the policy. Research careers in academia, what are the usual tracks? We also have a hub supporting talent circulations and science for refugees that could be of help for you in order, just if you are thinking to attract researchers that are right now at risk, and they can join your team. Podcast. I'm not promoting here myself, but I would like to advise you, in case you are okay, to listen to personal stories of different people. Recently, we will publish soon an interview, for example, from Ivory Tower of Science into the black hole of politics with the former Prime Minister of Netherlands. We had also an episode on scientific diplomacy, on startup science entrepreneurship with deep tech industry leaders, etc., etc. Also here is one more thing that is Maria Sklodowska-Curie actions, which, as you know, when we are composing this proposal, we have to be very specific not only about those postdocs focusing on their individual career path, but also like you as an advisor, as a supporter for him, how you see yourself. A nice question from HR in 5 years. But for researchers, it's more or less okay to answer this, by the way, this question. Research Career Observatory will have specific cases from different countries, but under construction right now. Innovation Talent Platform is cooperation with industry. You can find representatives from industry there, start cooperating or initiate at least. And Research Comp, that is research competences framework that could help you to map the skills that are needed and the level of these skills. So it looks like that. I'm short in time, yeah? Okay, I will wrap up right now. So you can see there are a lot of working with others, different skills, and evaluation is also under this template developed. We have also one laboratory in Solid State Physics Institute that tried to map all the skills of their researchers. It was a challenge, but they did it. It was a nice opportunity to have a talk with everyone in your organization. Managing research, doing research, making an impact, self-management, and cognitive abilities are also evaluated under this framework. So, how to navigate? Take a look at Research Comp if you want to change something or you are lost. Take a look at your access in case you would like to change something completely in your life, for example, or also geographical mobility if you consider. Because we have also your access contact points that can mentor you and tell you all the significant information that you need to know in order to travel to or to move to another organization. Secure project, just to consider what are the latest trends in European Commission policy making. If you need mentoring, I have a couple of resources here. And of course, think about the funding opportunities under Horizon Europe. This is ERC, Cost Actions, MCAA, and ERA chairs as well could be useful for you. And consider personal contacts. Right now, at least you have one that can tell you where to look if you have solid questions. So yeah, and remember, I mean, sorry for this allusion from Jack Sparrow, but part of the crew, part of the ship, and this is you who are part of this actual ship, and the ship is not going anywhere without you. So thank you very much for your attention, and sorry to take too much time.
Thank you, Darja. Okay, if you already have some questions for Darja, please keep them in mind for the question and answer session of this question and answer part of this session. But right now, I would like to introduce you to the second speaker today, Giuliana Sabbatini. She's a head of Service and Competence Center for Higher Education Development and Quality Management at St.Pölten University of Applied Sciences, and she will be presenting on the topic of new council recommendations on attractive and sustainable career in higher education. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm going to broaden the scope of our reflection a little bit more. So not because the EUREX's scope is not broad enough, but because there's something more to it. And I always try to think, what's the whole picture, let's say. And first of all, you see this picture, I generated it with Copilot, and it's very interesting because I really like Copilot to play with creating something. And I asked about academic career development and academic careers. And I got lots of different pictures, but all of them looked this way. So it looks like all we do is sit together and discuss about something. I got it with books in the background or with posters in the background. You could read something or not, but everything was this kind of framework. Why do I think that we had to think about it? What's this recommendation about? Beside, and this is important, beside the ERA framework, the Commission 2 years ago decided, let's say, to go for a framework on academic careers. And this is a small difference, but one DG, the DG Research and Innovation, was focusing on research careers, and one DG, the DG Education, started discussing academic careers at the end of 2023 or something like that. And it was thought by the Commission to be a sort of complement to the ERA framework. Let's say we already have such a nice framework for research. Let's start with a new framework for the other parts of the academic careers. And what's interesting is that there are some players who usually do not have the same opinion on something. And this is E³UDRES², this is the Applied Higher Education Institutions, and the League of the Research-Intensive Universities or of the Young Research Universities. But that time, everybody had the same opinion about it. And it was, you cannot start a new framework for academic careers because you are talking about the same people. Those same people are doing education, research, innovation, internationalization. Of course, you have people focusing more on research or focusing more on education, but basically academic careers is something broad. So why develop two different words? And actually the idea we tried with some expert groups and some position papers was to tell the Commission the missions of higher education institutions are becoming more and more hybrid in a sense. You have education going in innovation, going in research, going in internationalization. You cannot separate that in the discussion. So we should think about hybridization of careers. And this is also basically what we are doing with the Ent-r-e-novators project. The word itself, Ent-r-e-novators, is trying to put together entrepreneurs, researchers, educators, innovators. And the first reactions from the DG Education in 2023 were very reluctant. It was just like the first time we said it in an expert group, the lady from the Commission was just like, we are going to prepare our framework, despite what you say, because the other DG already has a framework. And this is, of course, in the logics of the Commission may work, but not in real world. But then, at the end of 2024, so in November, we had a very, very nice surprise, because the first time I read the ready recommendation, I thought, wow, this is holistic, this is nice. They really succeeded, of course, at the policy level, so it's a long way to the implementation, but at least at the policy level, they succeeded in encompassing the whole landscape of academic careers in one document. And I'm going to go through just a couple of aspects. Do not be scared by so much text. I like, and Darja did the same. When you put something thinking about 2 or 3 words, then you want to have the context of the text anyway. And I think you can read it on the screens. First of all, in the title already of the Commission, you have 2 words, attractive and sustainable. Attractive is very important not only for us and our researchers or academics, but for the European Union. We are talking of a profession which could be endangered, just like there are not enough teachers, there are not enough nurses, there are not enough technicians, there are not enough social workers. So it could be that in the next years we do not have enough academics doing teaching or research. While we were trying to what are we doing with postdocs? We have too many postdocs. Many in the next years, we are trying to think about how to attract and retain people. And sustainable careers. And this word is not meant to be green in a way. It's meant to be what's financially and socially and individually sustainable on the long run in careers. How is it we are using these people to produce as much as possible, and then maybe they are losing their pension because of mobility in different European countries, how to make this life attractive for them and sustainable. And the next interesting thing is it doesn't only focus on academic, but already at the beginning of the recommendation, other professional services stuff are mentioned, because there's this so-called third space where some of us in the room also, and this is the case for myself, belong to. So people with an academic career and transformation and being part of services and publishing and doing projects and working in innovation or in teaching. So it's becoming more and more difficult to say who is an academic and who is not an academic. And this can also be part of a sequence of career experiences. We do not expect people to start a researcher and be pensioned as researchers. They maybe are doing couple of years more teaching, then doing more project, then doing more internationalization. Then starts a very long list, as Darja was saying, the unicorn, what these people are all doing. And they're doing entrepreneurship, innovation, leadership, knowledge valorization and transfer, regional, national, transnational cooperation, business and community engagement, regional and local development. This is also very interesting because regional and local development is a completely different function, actually. There are agencies and structures and governance bodies doing that. Then we have mentoring. This is nice because it can be scientific kind of supervision, but it can also be already leadership. Then we have support to policy making, administration, management, participation in institutional governance. And then the recommendation is very realistic. The roles are unevenly recognized. Yes, we know. There is a bias in career structures. We know. Overall social recognition of research at the expense of teaching and other activities. So we should try to have a look at the whole situation. What's nice for us, and by us I mean the Ent-r-e-novators community from the E³UDRES Alliance, it's this focus on European university alliances as well, because the Commission recognizes if we want to build more international activities, then we have to make this part of the academic career as well. Otherwise, it doesn't count anywhere. And then they try to put together some aims. And I find this is, of course, this is a policy level, but it's already a sort of checklist. What could and should we start doing at the institutional level, at the regional level? How can we support implementation? First item is this putting in place measures to enhance this professional development, not letting this professional development happen on its own by chance because somebody comes in a project or gets the chance to do something, but how to support people in designing, shaping, living their career. Then we have a list of conditions we could try as institutions or as alliances to fulfill. We would like these conditions to be, yes, competitive, because we want to have the best minds or the best people for the different tasks, but also a little bit more predictable. We don't want people to stumble from one project to the next, not knowing how is my career going to look like in the next 2 years, where am I supposed to focus on. Fair and inclusive. and this is not only about gender, it's about completely different aspects of diversity, interdisciplinarity, people having breaks in their careers or going to industry and coming back to academia, how to be inclusive for all these sorts of careers. Accessibility, safe, non-discriminatory conditions, and how to attract them. And the last part is about recognizing energy and time, and this issue is about international cooperation activities, but it's about everything. All of these items are the same. How to recognize energy and time that people put in some activities which are useful for the region, for the companies, for society, for schools, for innovation, for startups, for whatever. And on the same line, there are also recommendations to the member states, because of course the Commission sees this is not something the individual institutions or individual research groups can develop on their own. We need actions on part of the member states. What they would like to further develop, and Darja already presented it, is this research comp as a tool for showing the different kind of skills required, although we must say the research comp only covers a very small part of the competences required. The human resources strategy for researchers, and the agreement on reforming career assessment. You already know I'm very passionate about this QARA topic. We really have to rethink the way we are assessing individual researchers, their career development, and the way we are assessing research groups or research institutes, because as long as we do not change this part of assessment, we cannot even start to change something in the careers. We have to pay attention that we do not change the conditions of careers without changing the assessment, because this would mean we are sending people farther in their career without making sure that this will be appreciated, assessed, and promoted during the next years. We already saw it happen during the last year, for example, for interdisciplinarity. All of us would agree interdisciplinary careers are very interesting and important and relevant. Yes, but if you only have an interdisciplinary career and then you want to have a more traditional position, then you are not going to be as successful as somebody with a very classic discipline-related careers. So we have to pay attention that we do not change the conditions to the expenses of the people we are trying to help, let's say. We are putting a burden in terms of sustainability of careers on individual people before we change the institutional conditions. And then I tried, and this is already my last slide, I tried to put together some considerations, or maybe already very broad questions, but this is how I look at it. First of all, again, from my point of view, the Ent-r-e-novators community is on the right path. The moment we started already with this name and with this approach in the project, very broad, from open education, open science, community engagement, research conditions, this is already a right framework to look at the things. Then we have the questions around the assessment and QARA. I hope all of your institutions are part of QARA and engaging actively in it. If this is not the case, go for it. There are lots of interesting activities. Then I think we have to be very careful that we avoid the pitfall of simply adding too many components or criteria. Let's say we take the research comp and we say, okay, this is not enough, this only covers the research competences, and we start putting there 30 further competencies required, and then we start making this assessment framework broader and more complicated and looking for people satisfying everything. This is not the fair way to go for it. Again, we want flexible and individual paths, that's nice. It's nice in word, and maybe we succeed with some individual colleagues in our institutions, and we see, okay, this is a nice way to create individual flexible careers. But how do we make sure that we are not losing the long-term sustainability of individual careers? How would it look like if the same people want to get a position at another institution, in another European country, in a little bit different role? Is it going to work? Then I think we do not think enough in our own institutions about how can we as institutions actively support careers, how to support academics in shaping their careers. We expect lots of times that the principal investigator or the senior researchers or whoever is taking care not only of the scientific supervision but also accompanying the people along their careers, suggesting how the future could look like, what they have to do to make sure that this can happen, etc. This is not the case we know in our institutions. We know some people are very, very good in scientific mentoring, some people are very, very good in project leading, some people are good as head of research institutes or of departments, but not scientifically excellent. So how to make sure that we are helping our academics in being advised what kind of possibilities do they have, what do I need to fulfill to make as sure as possible that I can develop in this way, etc. For example, there's in Austria one research institution, a very large one. It's not a university, but it has lots of academics, where per definition after 10 years you have to go for another kind of activity, whatever. And they are trying to put there lots of effort to start showing academics what kind of different careers are possible. Because if you spend 10 years doing just academic research and nothing more, then you probably do not even think about teaching, innovation, startups. There are lots of other aspects where you could put your competences into work. And the last one, how to support these diverse careers. What does it need to support, for example, intersectorality between companies or society players and academia? How could it look like to have people working 3 years in our institutions, then going 1 or 2 years to a partner company, maybe doing project with us and education activities with us, but staying at the company, and then coming back in a different role? Would that be possible? How would it look like? So more questions than answers, but this is the way I work. Thanks.
Thank you, Giuliana. Our third panelist is Brigita Kukjalko, senior expert for higher education at Latvia Ministry of Education and Science, and she will be presenting on the topic of career opportunities within new Latvian framework.
Thank you very much for the introduction and inviting me. I'm just looking at my screen and I can see that there is a little bit like of a delay between my current time and actually the flow of the action at your side. But that's okay. I'm quite far from Vidzeme right now. I'm actually located outside Latvia, and my permanent base is outside Latvia. So this is the reason why I couldn't also participate in person. But I'm very happy for inviting me and that I can be part of this discussion. At the Ministry of Education and Science, I'm working with developing the new academic careers framework. I'm also working with the new doctoral education model. And so whatever questions regarding these two huge, let's say it's actually one reform, but the aspects are, let's say, two. then you can also ask after the presentation and in the part of our discussion. So I'll try to share my presentation, and hopefully everything will go well. So yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Let's see one more time. Yeah. Now I think now it's gonna be okay. I didn't see my actual file. To be honest, now I can see it. So yeah, please let me know if you can see the first slide. I cannot hear at the moment. Anyone?
Yes, we can see and hear you.
Yeah? Yeah, all good. Okay. The title is, yes, about changing academic careers and opportunities in the new Latvian framework, so academic careers framework. And I think, yes, the very important is this question, why are changes needed in the academic career system in Latvia? And the answer is quite simple. Latvia needs a clear and predictable academic career system that provides stability, increases competitiveness, and prioritizes quality in research and higher education. And I think that this is in line with what we also hear from previous presentation. These are trends and endeavors throughout the European countries, and I think in the whole world at the moment. And the current Latvian system lacks structure, and also career progression is very uncertain, and also opportunities for academic staff development are quite limited. So I'm moving to the next slide. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Let's see. I'm now running through my slides. Sorry. One more time. Okay. Yeah, number 2. So, professional growth of academic staff in Latvia. I wanted to outline a little bit also status quo and the current developments. And yes, the first about the challenges. The current system presents several challenges for academic staff. It is unclear career progression. There is no stable and predictable career path leading to professorship. The lack of well-defined promotion criteria hinders professional growth and long-term career planning. Unattractive employment conditions. Most academic staff are employed on fixed-term contracts, creating job insecurity and affecting long-term career development. Promotion is not automatic, but depends on a re-election or election process that is repeatedly applied. There is limited mobility. There is little collaboration between higher education institutions and research centers or research institutes, restricting the exchange of knowledge and skills. And there are low and non-competitive salaries. Many academics must work multiple jobs to secure an adequate income, and it leaves little time for research and professional development. And also an underdeveloped tenure system. There are no strong mechanisms to ensure long-term academic stability or to attract and retain top-level academic staff. About current positive developments. Despite these challenges, some improvements have already been made. So there is greater job stability. Since 2019 Constitutional Court ruling, universities can offer permanent contracts to professors and associate professors. Introduction of tenure track positions. So some universities, science universities, have started testing tenure track and tenure professor positions, which could provide greater career stability in the future. And increased funding for higher education and research. Starting in 2024, but actually we could talk already about 2022, but okay, let's stop at 2024. Additional funding is available through higher education and science reforms, including institutional financing models, basic research funding reform, performance-based financing, and also, of course, European Union investments. And there is planned modernization of the academic career system by 2027. To improve the system, a new academic career framework will be introduced. The key reforms include a clear structure for academic positions and career progression, alignment with an unified European framework, full implementation of the tenure system to increase stability and competitiveness, creation of new practice-oriented positions within academia, introduction of performance-based evaluations for academic staff, improved salary levels and flexible remuneration, promotion of internal and international mobility and cooperation. And these changes should create a transparent, competitive, and sustainable academic career system, allowing Latvia's universities to attract and retain talent while maintaining long-term academic excellence. So now I'm moving to the third slide. So number 3, key changes for academic staff. The new framework introduces several key elements at the state level. A structured academic career path with 4 academic career stages, a tenure track and tenure system, clear performance evaluation criteria covering research. And here I should also always add, but sometimes I forget, so research, artistic creation work, teaching, and the third mission. Salary principles and funding allocations based on national education development guidelines. So in Latvian, izglītības attīstības pamatnostādnes. At the institutional level, universities will have greater autonomy to set academic position requirements, including for tenure track roles, evaluate and promote academic staff based on performance, adjust salary levels and incentives to match strategic goals and available resources. And the special provision in Section 27, Part 6 of the Higher Education Institutions Law, or Law on Higher Education Institutions, so Augstskola likums in Latvian, gives the Cabinet of Ministers the authority to define procedures for recognizing the competence of academic position candidates who do not hold a doctoral degree, but have equivalent professional qualifications. So this provision, I think it's valid since at least 2022, and hopefully with the new introduction of the new academic careers framework, this regulation will also be approved and firstly developed and approved. Let's move to the 4th slide, and now we are on the 4th. And the question is, how will academic careers be evaluated? The new careers framework establishes the basic criteria for evaluating the performance of academic staff in stages 2 to 4, while institutions define criteria for stage 1. And the key shift is that it is quality over quantity. Research evaluation should focus more on excellence and impact rather than just counting publications. Evaluations cover 4 main areas, so research or artistic work or artistic creation work is the official translation, student education and mentorship, international academic experience, organizational and administrative responsibilities, so including also the third mission duties. How much influence do academics have on evaluation criteria? This is something that is also worth wider discussion. Some factors are within an academic's control, while others depend on external forces. For example, directly, let's say, influenceable are research activities, student education, project management, collaboration with industry and third mission activities, or organizational work. We have less influence on citation impact. So on citations, we have less impact on the lead author factors, also on international recognition, because these depend on the broader academic community and long-term trends. So the final, oh no, it's not the last one. Number 5, slide number 5, 4 stages of academic careers and career flexibility. I think this is the best part that I like the most. I think that it's the clearest one, and but it's my personal view. You will tell me how you see it from your perspective. Latvian's new 4-stage system follows the European framework for research careers and guides progression from early career academic positions to full professorship. And key structural changes, so these are the lecturer and assistant with a doctoral degree positions will be removed. So we don't have in this new framework a lecturer or assistant with a doctoral degree. And we have added a junior researcher role to support early career academics. And this role is intended for doctoral students for their employment, but it's not that clearly elaborated yet in the concept note. We want to see the reactions of the sector while we are going through the adjustments of the concept note within the framework of the official procedure that the concept note will follow very, very soon. And then we will adjust the actual wording and what's happening with, let's say, with this new position, this junior researcher's position, whether it's actually necessary or not. And institutions will be allowed to create their own categories, so staff categories based on this framework. So they can add as well a position or academic staff category. Like, for example, at the professor's level, we can add, for example, distinguished professor, and maybe something else is necessary as well here, and that gives an opportunity to the higher education institutions to add some additional positions. Then the new framework allows greater flexibility in career planning. Academics may take career breaks for health reasons, own or family members, parental leave, work in industry, so we strengthen mobility between academia and the private sector, temporary public sector positions, high-level administrative roles within universities or higher education institutions. So, and during these career break periods, or if in case, let's say, in the case of such breaks, institutions must adjust performance evaluation criteria and set reasonable expectations for returning academics. And then the new framework also introduces practice-oriented positions. And this is something that permits employment in the industry and knowledge transfer to academia. So, for example, the professor of practice role will allow industry experts to teach and engage in knowledge transfer without requiring a PhD or doctoral degree. And we think that this approach strengthens collaboration between academia and industry, ensuring that higher education remains relevant to the labor market. And finally, the last slide from my side, number 6. So key challenges and benefits for academic staff. So challenges that academic staff will face with the new academic careers framework. These are stricter evaluation criteria. It will increase pressure to meet research, teaching, and third mission goals. The shift from quantity to quality may require changes in academic work planning. High requirements for tenure positions may increase competition, especially for junior researchers. Increased international engagement may create additional workloads and also funding challenges. Academic careers will become more flexible, but also more complex, requiring better planning and adaptability, especially for institutions. Salary improvements will depend on university resources, potentially creating inequalities between institutions. Balancing workloads will be difficult as expectations for quality and international participation rise. And what are the benefits? A clear career path with structured positions and predictable criteria, tenure system to improve stability, competitiveness, and academic succession, more institutional autonomy. From one side, I think it is a benefit. On the other hand, there are many risks as well. And especially, I think, academic staff should be involved a lot in whatever aspects are related to institutional autonomy. So whatever is decided within the institution, whether it's about the salaries or about criteria for the performance evaluation, whatever, academic staff, representatives of the academic staff should be really involved in all those processes so that they are fair and that academic staff can actually feel that they are being heard. And other benefits, of course, new roles like professors of practice will strengthen academia-industry links and more career flexibility, making academia more inclusive for diverse life situations. So that's from my side. Thank you very much. And I will be happy to answer your questions as well.
Okay, thank you. And now we would like to open the question and answer part of this panel discussion. So if you have a question, please raise the hand. And yes, of course, we would also like to welcome back Darja and Giuliana to the stage.
So, dear colleagues, now is time for your questions, and you are very, very welcome. Yes, Oskars, please.
Yeah, I have a question to last speaker about the third mission. I was wondering all the time, you mentioned it at least 4 times in your speech, the third mission, but what it is about? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, this definitely includes many activities, and I can give just some examples. And again, your colleagues maybe also can add some other that come to their mind. But in my view, third mission is first of all science communication, engagement with the society. Yeah. Also, many times organizational activities are counted as third mission. I lack like a certain definition, but I think that these are range of activities that we do outside academia, but that are still related to our work in academia.
So it might be impact, right?
Yes, it could be impact.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. More questions? Yeah, please.
Just because I think this is an interesting question, because there's the question about knowledge and technology transfer. Is it related more to third mission or more to research and innovation? And then there's the discussion about academic lifelong learning offers. This could be either part of third mission if you do that for industries, for companies, for example, or more of education if you do that for the elder learners, for example. So I think this is also becoming more and more blurred. Let's say it will be sometime very difficult to say, is this our first mission or second or third or fourth?
Well, when I think about any research outputs, I see outputs, outcomes, and impact. Maybe this is might be the mission-based approach. Like first mission, it outputs, no, then outcomes, and then impact.
Your question was
It sounds very good.
Okay. Okay, thank you. But maybe you have any more concrete questions about your career, because I think all these missions, it's very important, of course, but we are some very realistic people, and maybe you have more questions about yourselves.
I have a question not regarding my career, but it's also currently a discussion at our university, St.Pölten University of Applied Sciences, and also driven by some national agencies, how much researchers shall also be involved in developing standardization processes, being involved in those agencies, agreeing on European and national standards. Also, is this actually, we can now discuss, is it part of third mission? Is it an integral part of being a researcher? Is it just an add-on? Shall it be a mission of a researcher to be also part in those processes then? So that's currently also discussion, because some of our researchers are involved in those, especially in the field of IT, and to develop those standards, European standards, and then they are now asking, is this actually a task of me being a researcher, or is it just an add-on? Will this be somehow be evaluated? Will this be included in the evaluation of my tasks and so on? So it's really this in-between task, which might not be linked to one specific mission yet. So I don't know if this is a discussion also in other countries at the moment, how much also this is a part of a researcher and a research career to be then involved in those policy-making processes and standard processes.
Whom you are addressing your question?
Actually, I know the discussion with Giuliana, because we've already discussed about that, but it would be also interesting for me to hear from the lady from the ministry or from the National Funding Agency, also from a more policy perspective, and also from our access researchers' perspective, if this is somehow discussed in a way about being a part of the role of a researcher.
Maybe I give first the floor to Brigita, because we are, like, Latvian Council of Science is under ministry, so the bosses can start and I will proceed.
I'm not sure, Darja, who is under whom here, but we always listen firstly to our experts and then we make decisions. This is what we do at the ministry, actually, and then the experts are actually higher. I mean, researchers and the specialists in field and in science. So, anyway, regarding the question and the answer, in my view, this is very important work that that researchers do, and not only researchers. I think the academic staff in a broader perspective. So yeah, also professors and other members of academic staff. They participate also at the ministry's level in our working groups. They help us to develop, for example, regulation at the state level. It's very similar actually to what a person could do at the European level while working on some recommendations or guidelines or whatever is coming out also from the European Commission or similar organizations underneath the European Commission, let's say. I think if we see it from the performance evaluation, from the perspective of performance evaluation, then this goes into category of organizational work. That this is where we can put, that's the box where we can put this all activity, because we have to consider it. It takes lots of time. I know that, and we cannot just dismiss that. You know, it means nothing. Yeah, so definitely one of criteria should also, not should, I think that there is already, it is covered. Maybe it's not said in the same, I mean, not the same wording, but this is what we can understand with organizational work as well. Participation in developing, I don't know, planning documents, whatever we call them. But this is extremely important task to do as well, yeah. Because without engagement of our sector and people who actually have their hands on, policymakers cannot develop these guidelines or regulation, whatever we are working on.
Yeah, I would just, first of all, I totally agree on everything that Brigita said. And secondly, we also under Latvian Council of Science, we have an expert groups on different fields, which we are consulting. I am not sure how they are reporting this activity in their institution, but we are highly dependent on their work, because we need focus from their institutional, I would say, head, and from the researchers' head as well, that they know the latest trends that we can implement then afterwards. This is first one. And regarding Horizon Europe, as usual practice is we have papers and planning documents that we need to discuss with experts, because otherwise we cannot implement anything or provide any baked by research information, because we are formulating top-down calls, and this is where you are an expert. Otherwise we cannot do that. Yeah, so thank you.
Maybe another possibility would also be just mixing what the last question was and also the input before, would be just to broaden again the scope of our publications and outcomes understanding. So because this could be another kind, just like there are scientific publications, other kind of publications, but then we have patent applications, and then we have, for example, standardization works or other kind of outcome documents, just broadening what we understand under these publications.
So we can have time for one more question.
Yeah,
we have 5 minutes.
I have a question. I will come in the area of cameras, so Brigita can see me too. And I have one question that is very interesting to our Latvian participants. Maybe the foreign guests are not that concerned about this, but the thing is that what we know is that there was a substantial amount of money also planned for this academic career model implementation in Latvia. But what we recently heard that actually this money is given away for some other very like big priorities for our country. And Brigita, do you know anything about, I don't know, what was the money planned for? And are we going to, I don't know, get funds from somewhere else? Or is it another reform that will be on the shoulders of the institutions here, as we have already a couple of things? We know what we are dealing, what we dealt with last year and this year. And so how does the future look for us in terms of this academic career development model? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we are talking about structural funds support. There were planned quite a substantial sum for academic careers, but as there was delay with the implementation of this reform, and there is still actually a delay, so it was how to call pārdalīt in Latvian, but reshared, diverted, let's say, to cover some more urgent needs at that time. But there is a promise that once we get back on our on implementation of the new academic careers framework, then we will be able to divert again some other funds for this aim. Yeah, so to compensate this loss, at least we will do everything we can to secure such funding from the and we are talking about European Union structural funds funding investments. There is also considerable investments being planned from the so this is the atvesļošanās funds. Resilience, what was the, in English, I always forget this very, very long title of that particular fund. So, resilience, something with resilience. Someone who knows atvesļošanās funds in English, please help me.
Recovery.
Recovery and resilience, yes, bravo. My son would say, bravo, mama. So that fund has secured huge investments for academic career, but I know and I'm aware that not all universities are participating with their projects in this activity. And that's the bad thing. We cannot say that it covers all the state institutions, unfortunately. And I know that Vidzeme University is not participating in that particular project. Yes. And regarding other funding for the academic careers reform, we are trying to secure money for the salaries or remuneration in general of academic staff, so that it is in line with what was envisaged in the current tātad augstākās izglītības pamatnostādnes, these guidelines of not higher education, guidelines of education development. So if you are interested in that, you can also check it online. Tātad augstākās izglītības, nevis augstākās, bet tātad izglītības attīstības pamatnostādnes. And there is a section about the remuneration of academic staff. And this is what actually ministry is obliged to follow and to implement. And this is also what we have elaborated and included in the current version of the report that you haven't seen. Unfortunately, I also hope that maybe this week already we will be able to publish the current version, but we haven't done it yet. But hopefully very soon. And then you will see what kind of what kind of plan we have regarding the salaries of academic staff. There is also additional funding from the state budget required, of course.
So, thank you very much for your answers, and I would like to thank very much Brigita, Giuliana, and Darja for your presentations. And before break, short instructions from us. But no, there will be some coffee break, and after coffee breaks there will be group discussions. So thank you.
Thank you very much.